Live.
Okay.
Hey guys, how are you? I am here with the master of bone broth,
Chef Lance,
Chef Lance.
the bone broth guy.
We found each other in California. Look at that. And
At Hay House. With
Hay House last year.
Heather Dane
Krista Arecchio introduced us because I was in a dilemma. I was going to speak at Hay House, and it was a lunch and learn, and Hay House was serving pizza, and I said, I need some really good quality food there if I'm going to be talking. So I reached out to some of my California friends and I said, where can I get good bone broth? And then Krista Arecchio, the whole journey, said, reach out to Flavor Chef. We have Chef Lance. And Chef Lance actually drove to meet me at Hay House with like canisters full. He brought this for me today. We're drinking some of my favorite, the coconut one right now.
Broth is good for you.
Yes.
High energy vibration.
So good. So he showed up at Hay House, never had met me before in my life, or we don't even know each other. He shows up with these big coffee pots of broth to serve to Hay House. But you know Heather Dane, and you've done her podcast, and she wrote a book on broth with Louise Hay. With Louise Hay, exactly.
Who loved our coconut soup, by the way, in her last days. Gave her lots of comfort. And,
I love to hear that.
Yes, it was absolutely true. You can ask Heather
It's my
Dane.
favorite. I'm drinking it right now.
So good.
So anyway, so he shows up, and so now I use his broth all the time at home because it's time saving and it's so yummy, and it's made the way I would make it. I still make my own regularly, but we use his a lot. My mother drinks it. All of you guys are drinking it now because of me and because of how awesome these guys are and how well it ships all the way over to the East Coast.
Frozen.
So I wanted to ask you, I don't even know the backstory. How'd you get into making broth? Why?
The backstory, I've been a chef for almost 30 years
now.
About 2007.
Wow.
I was changing, life was transforming. I had a inspiration from God to bring, or God, universe, source.
Whatever. I love it.
Higher power, intuition, basically said, bring bone broth to the market. I was like, that's a weird thing to tell me. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And so
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I was reading Weston A. Price.
Yeah, we're both students of Weston A. Price, Sally Fallon, Thomas
so I was
Cowan.
reading Nourishing Traditions. I had met Paul Check, my wonderful mentor, and he had a book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. I started to cook for the Check Institute. Everyone wanted bone broth, so I was making it. Of course, as a chef for 18 years at that point, I've been making broths my whole career. I was trained in high-end restaurants. We're right now in La Jolla, California.
Yes.
Where I actually worked at one point in my career around 1990, 91.
Where'd you work?
I worked at, first of all, I worked at Mille Fleurs in Rancho Santa Fe. Which
I know. That's a great place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I worked at a little place down here. I forget the name of it. But
one of my chefs, because I worked in restaurants out here as a graduate student, and I always worked at like the fancy places and with the James Beard trained chefs, and the same thing, they would cook down our broth or our stock overnight in the big stock pots.
Big difference. They were not doing it organically, sadly.
I know.
So we have fully organic bone broth, certified organic. We have verified non-GMO. We make our broth with Palomar Mountain spring water. I challenge anyone to find a broth made with spring water anywhere on the planet.
Yes.
They do not. We use spring water. Reason being is tap water sucks.
Yes.
Filtered tap water is only as good as the filter. And generally speaking, I didn't want to take any chances with my health or your health or her health or your baby's health or your womb's health or anything else that's going on, because water is toxic at this point if you're not treating it well. And this is a deep well source here locally in California. They bring down about an hour from our plant. They bring the broth down to the kitchen. We put it in big containers.
Amazing.
Pumps it into the kettles.
And the other thing that's really different about Chef Lance and his company is this one, the autoimmune protocol broth.
Yes.
You cannot find a single packaged broth out there that is autoimmune paleo friendly. So that basically means no onions, no garlic, no salt.
Low FODMAPs.
Low FODMAPs. 5
ingredients: carrot, celery, parsley, bones, and water. And of course, super gelatin. And, somebody just said, oh, I love bone broth. Broth is good for you. I say, yeah, it's good for you. If it's made correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to go into that because...
Yeah, so tell me, so you guys, how long do you cook it for?
We simmer ours 18 hours on the chicken, 24 on the beef. This is all flash frozen basically at the end. It goes in the freezer.
And then is this BPA free, these plastics?
BPA free, and Aimee, very important, packed cold.
Right.
49 degrees or less.
Because if it's hot, that's when, even if
Yes.
it's BPA free, you're still gonna suffer the consequences of the plastics, right?
Co-packers don't have time to cool it. They pack it hot. And
Wow.
I want to just mention this right now. If you're drinking bone broth from a box where it's aseptically sealed, it is sterile. So Aimee has a baby, so we know she's not sterile, and everything is good. And I have a son, I'm not sterile. So it's all good, but important to recognize the reason it's 2 years shelf stable, which basically makes it, I will just say it, dead.
Yeah. And in Chinese medicine, we say you only eat food that is alive, that has qi and life force.
That has qi,
exactly.
High vibration, and that's the way it goes. So essentially, again, just be careful. Not all bone broths are created equal. Ours is made with. We don't want to get too much into what everyone else is doing, but just be wary, especially if it's not organic. Not saying organic, but certified organic. Certified organic costs money.
Yes.
And it's not free. And so when people say they're organic, quote unquote, and they sell broth all over the country in 15 different, with thousands and thousands of units, and they just write organic on the label, you can pay to do that. So I'm not going to say anything who.
Yeah, we're not going to put you on labels, but I will say this is the best brand out there on the market.
Yeah, and again, we're going to go with, you can make great bone broth. She makes her own bone broth. People make their own bone broth. Did you follow the right principles?
Yeah.
Low, slow simmer. Great quality ingredients, meaning organic or higher.
Do you do the vinegar thing?
We do a little apple cider vinegar. This broth does not contain any apple cider vinegar. Still has huge amounts of calcium and not calcium, minerals. And
the Weston A. Price, right? Nourishing Traditions, there, which is where I started. All my books, I mentioned Nourishing Traditions. It's like the best book. And Weston A. Price Foundation, and that's how they recommend it, that you add the vinegar to let it leach out the minerals from the bones before you cook it. And then it is a long, slow simmer.
Right, a long, slow simmer, about 18 hours on the chicken, 24 hours on the beef, which is makes it a little more expensive to make. But this is the limit you need, really. You don't really need much other later than that, and we can answer questions at some point if people had one about bone broth. But anyway, just make sure the bone broth you're drinking, and by the way, I'll just say it's flat out, powdered bone broth is not bone broth. It's a protein isolate. If you look at the ingredients, there's only one. It's called chicken protein, and if that protein is not organic, go to Mercola.com and look up his article about these products. And educate yourself on whether you should be ingesting them or not. They are marketed to be the same thing, but just like any game of 3-card Monte, it looks like it kind of is the same thing. But quickly they change and say, no, it's not processed the same way. It's not made this. It's just denatured completely. And that's not to say that there's not good quality powdered products or good quality juice products, good quality even broth products.
But I say too, like this is an A+, and then those are like a B minus. Would you agree? And again, maybe even a C.
Maybe even a C. I think again, you also have to take it into yourself, and understand what your body's doing with it. And the thing that becomes, if you notice too, with powders, they're sold in supplement section. They're not food. This is food. What we talk about is whole food. People like to say, food is medicine, but look if they're selling any food. Because maybe they're not. Maybe they're just telling you food is medicine, but they're selling you supplements. Supplements are not food. This is food. And that
you can't out-supplement a shitty diet. That's what we say.
You can't out-supplement,
We can curse.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just saying. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. And when you talk about whole foods, we talk about greens and vegetables and a protocol. I mean, Aimee's and holistic lifestyle coaching and holistic approaches to health and wellness do not include just one silver bullet. Do this and you'll be okay.
And also look at his skin. Look at his skin. Look how good his skin is.
I turned 35 next week. Just kidding.
Look at that.
But I'm pretty.
That is all the gelatin and collagen in his bone broth.
And the ocean.
And the ocean. And the California sun.
All year round. The California
sun. So how has bone broth changed your life?
Well, I think I have a pretty strong immune system now. I mean, I've always had one, so it's basically an optimizer at this point. And it changed my life in the fact that I was able to be the first one in the market. No one ever had a commercial bone broth available the way I make it, frozen, fresh here in San Diego and Jimbo's in 2012.
I love the cold pack too. I didn't know it was cold pack. Like I didn't know.
Absolutely cold pack.
I mean, it makes sense.
49 degrees or less. So you're looking at,
so you don't
45
get
degrees.
anything bad from the plastic.
Basically, yeah. And we have a short term, like products that are perishable are ones that you want to eat. Like you can't keep an apple forever. Of course, some apples get coated with crazy shit. But anyway, so.
And then, so nice right now too, I saw someone asked, what's the name of the product? So it's the Flavor Chef, or if you go to aimeeraupp.com/bone broth, you'll find it. And we also have a package deal. We teamed up with these guys for, it's called, what is it, Reboot 20? I think that's it, Beth. That's the promo code. So if you buy, I don't even know, a pack of 10, I think you
16.
get 16. See, I don't even know. 16 pack, you get 20% off with the promo code Reboot20. And so we're launching, as of yesterday, my Reboot and Rewire program kicks off May 1st. You can enter today and tomorrow, and then that's it. But a huge part of the Reboot and Rewire program is really good quality broth. So Chef Lance and I teamed up to create a bundle for you guys.
Bonebroth.com.
Bonebroth.com.
Pretty simple, and if you want to know why I got bonebroth.com, I bought it for $10.99 on $9.99 on GoDaddy in 2008.
Yeah.
So that's long before anyone else who claims to be the original, and they'll come along and say, well, I was the first. Well, why don't you own bonebroth.com? Because we got bonebroth.com for $9.99 when, at least for 5 years.
You could sell it for probably a couple grand now.
No one even talked to me about bone broth till 2012, and then they said, I hope we can sell this stuff. So
even in Chill Out and Get Healthy, right? So I wrote that book in 2008. I talk about, I called it like homemade chicken soup basically, because Chinese medicine, we've been talking about bone broth for thousands of years. Anything cooked down from bones was good for Jing or essence, which meant basically our longevity, our vitality. And so there's even the story of Gandhi's son, right? When he had typhoid fever. Do you know this story?
I don't know the story.
Had typhoid fever, and they were vegetarians, for religious reasons, and the kid was not getting better, and they thought he was going to die. And they went and saw several different doctors, and even Ayurvedic healers. And they finally saw a Chinese medicine doctor, and he said the only thing that's going to help this kid get better is he has to eat bone broth. He has to eat like homemade chicken soup, cooked down, chicken feet, the whole thing.
Which is the way we make it.
And they made a religious, exception, which any yogi can get a religious exemption. And even if it's spiritual or religious that you don't eat animal products, for your health you can get a health exemption. And then his son healed, and so it's this great story. I wrote a blog on it. I love this. That's a great story.
We have to put that up as a link. But also remember too, in Ayurveda, there's a whole principle of blessing.
Yeah, you bless
you're
the
eating,
meats.
You bless it, and it energetically changes the molecule. So
it's the same thing with like even kosher too. Yeah, exactly.
Don't drink broth when you're really mad. Don't try to heal.
Or don't drink broth and go, I hate broth. I have to drink it because Aimee and Lance said I have to. No.
Yeah, but actually, that will not happen with our broth. It may happen with
it's so good.
Because it's terrible, but
yeah,
if you drink
I've
ours,
had people order other broth, and they're like, "It tastes terrible. This is not good at all." Yeah. In fact, my aunt, before I knew Chef Lance, my aunt had been diagnosed with cancer, and I bought her a bunch of another broth online, and she said to me, "Aimee, it tastes like powdered water mixed with it tastes disgusting. Just return it. Can you return it?"
Wait, who was that?
K and F. Yeah.
Well, that truthfully too, I will tell you this as well. You mentioned that we didn't say any brands, but when they make a box of broth, they actually make it into what they call a brick. They simmer it down to a solid, and then it gets shipped to the plant, the Tetra packing plant, the one where the box has plastic, supposedly the good plastic, and then aluminum foil right behind that, and then cardboard around that to keep the box. So you get the box aseptic. So they heat it to about 295 degrees in the box to sterilize it and get the 2-year shelf life. Now that's any box of broth.
Wow.
Not just certain brands.
So that's not good, guys. Not good at all.
Just be careful of the marketing, and if you're trying to heal, that might be good for certain people or for cooking, but if you're trying to heal, you want to really get a traditionally made bone broth. I'm not even saying to get my bone broth, even though we are telling us to get our bone broth, because simply put,
and you get 20% off.
And tell them too, it's making bone broth is sort of a pain in the ass.
It's time consuming.
It's time consuming, and you really have to do a good job to get everything sourced correctly. We already did that for you. Yep. It's already packaged, strained, labeled, dated. As you defrost and go, you're good to go on the
And
broth.
what I do is I order a bunch, and I keep a bunch in the freezer. I keep 1 or 2 out in the fridge.
Tell me about this one, Aimee.
This is my all-time favorite one. I just can't live without it. It's got coconut milk, ginger.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So it's the
lemon.
It is our mint. AIP bone broth, 18-hour simmer, put back in the kettle, strained, gently infused, live infusion with live food.
He knows more than I do about
with ginger root.
So good.
Fresh lemon, fresh mint, copious amounts. Simmers just the right amount of time. Doesn't even simmer. We actually just turn it off. Yeah. We let it infuse. And then when it's cold, we fold in the coconut soup with coconut milk, and we make it into our coconut ginger bone broth. And no one, I've said this 100 times on podcasts everywhere, no one's ever copied it. There's no other brand like it.
It doesn't exist. It's the best thing I've ever tasted. I make it, then I'll get this, and then I steam butternut squash and sweet potato, and I blend it all together to make a soup. I usually do 1 and 1. And then blend my butternut squash. So you guys know, if you've read Body Belief or you're going to do the R&R program with us, the Reboot and Rewire program that kicks off on May 1st, to read about it, go to aimeeraupp.com/reboot or go to the link in my bio. But in Body Belief and in the Reboot program is my yummy butternut squash soup. It is to die for. And I made that recipe before I even knew Chef Lance or this product. And so now I make my yummy butternut squash soup with this as the base. It is so freaking good. My little guy, who was just here, he was a little cranky. Didn't get the toy he wanted, apparently. He's 3. I know, the 3
That's all we have to say.
3-nagers. They're real.
The 3
They're really real.
That's a new
Sometimes my husband and I are like, he's the best. We love him so much. But sometimes he's a jerk.
9's a tough one, too, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going through the 9-year change right now. So.
Some guy on the plane said to me, he goes, the bigger the kid, the bigger. Well, anyway, I know a lot of you guys are trying for kids, and listen, I love kids, and you're all going to get there one day. But then you're also allowed to say when they're 3 that they're a little bit of a pain at times. But anyway, my little guy, he eats his orange. He eats his orange soup. That's what he calls it. So that's the butternut squash soup with avocado, like it's going out of style. So this is good for kids too, and it's a great way to boost their immune system whenever James is a little under the weather. Or, we delayed his vaccines, and so now we're still doing them. I put a little bit of broth in anything he eats to help with, to help with his immune system. You can go to aimeeraupp.com/bonebroth to find out more about this awesome broth. Let's see. How do I find your autoimmune training? Okay, so Beth already answered that. Go to aimeeraupp.com/reboot. Let's see. Any other questions in here?
There was...
Chef Lance is the man. Look at that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Let's see. Plastic packaging, BPA free. Yes,
BPA free and packed cold. Again, your other products, most likely they're getting co-packed. We make our broth in the brothery, so we don't have anyone else handling it. Potentially could be packed hot. We looked around. They said no. We do a hot fill, and hot fill in plastic is way bad. So we do a cold fill.
So bad.
And you can guarantee that there's. And we've also tested for glyphosate too.
Wow.
We had a cancer specialist tell us I have to find a broth that doesn't contain glyphosate. She had a bunch tested.
Wow.
Came back positive for glyphosate.
Dr. Cara Fitzgerald from the Dutch, one of the Dutch doctors, she did a whole thing on broth too. And anyway.
Ours was glyphosate free.
Wow.
Roundup free, glyphosate free, no pesticides.
Amazing.
And of course, everything, the beef is grass-fed, grass-finished, and the chickens are free-range, certified organic, and sustainable, and certified humane. So,
where do you guys get your chickens?
We get it from Rosie's or mostly Mary's and then Rosie's. We have we get the feet from Rosie's. So.
And I love chicken feet.
And that's
so
up in Petaluma,
much.
And we get our beef from Homegrown Meats.
Okay.
Right here.
Homegrown.
Here in San Diego.
I know. Yeah. Okay. I know them.
Thaddeus and his brother Ash and their whole company. They got huge, amazingly. I wish I had a package. Amazingly good jerky. If you're looking for any homegrown meats.
Really? Just ordered 3 coconut. Look at that. Yay!
Nice, yeah. Get a 10-pack. By the way, if you get free shipping with a 10-pack, the broth becomes much cheaper. You easily go through 10.
Yeah.
Stay in the freezer for a year. Get your 10-pack. There's usually a coupon code out there. I know Aimee's got her link. So buy it through Aimee's link, and you'll get a coupon code there as well for some money off the package. And, of course, I don't know what other... you can use. There's a lot of coupon codes out there, but Aimee's got hers.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Aimee's
Use
site.
any coupon code. You don't even have to go through me. I don't really care. Just get the broth because it's really good. And so I love that you ordered 3, Elizabeth. That's amazing. Again, my favorite. But yeah, like Chef Lance said, because if, the shipping does cost stuff. So if you order 10, which like he said, you'll go through it so fast if you choose to. What I do a lot of times is I make my own and then I kind of mix the two, or I use a little bit of mine, a little bit of his. That way it lasts a little bit longer. And free shipping, though, is priceless.
Yeah, and also, because shipping really isn't free.
It's not.
But anyway, the other thing I wanted to say was, when we do these delicious bone broths, they are manufactured with love.
Yeah, so important.
We have Love is the Ultimate
That's
Spice.
like my skincare. Yeah, Love is the Ultimate Spice. Is that what you say there?
Love is the Ultimate Spice.
Oh my
Trademark.
God!
And when we say broth is good for you,
where is that?
Promotes a healthier you. It's an energetic imprint on the bottom of the package, because when you see the smiley
Aww.
face, if you go to behavioral kinesiology, you'll see the smiley face will bring you
of that.
positive energy. Nice.
How do I do that? Like that?
I think you can do a screenshot. Maybe you can do your bottom and you can do like this. I think you go.
I wanted us both holding it though.
Oh, okay.
Can we do that?
You gotta press the button.
Can we make that happen?
We can make it happen. Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying some live stuff here with the.
Okay. Ready? Set. All right, we did it.
We did it. Yeah.
Hi. Sorry.
We're back.
We took a screenshot because we're dorks like that. So let's see. Any other questions, guys? I love to make chicken, but I buy the beef because it's more complicated. I agree, Beth. I'm the same exact way. I never have made beef broth, actually. The recipes are in every single one of my books. I've never actually made beef broth because it kind of, even for me, it overwhelms me a little bit to think of all the steps involved. And so when there's really good ones out there, why not just,
Yeah, again, with the beef broth, you're usually looking at $7-8 a pound just for the grass-fed beef bones. Typically, you only get femur, which is like the straight tube bones you use for marrow. We use a soup blend, which probably most broth companies do, but it's a mixture of all the different bones. We got 3 types of collagen in there in one broth.
Amazing.
And to get a 24-ounce package of certified organic, verified non-GMO.
Palomar Mountain Water.
Palomar Mountain Spring Water. Absolutely.
Love.
Clean.
Cool
product.
Cool packaging.
Already just defrost and go. No rehydrating, no powders, no shit involved with this.
Yeah.
No bullshit, exactly. I like cursing on live TV.
I love cursing on live TV.
Well, we're both from New York, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get 2
we got it in us.
And I got a little Jew in me, so however that helps. We just had Passover.
We mix it in, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
well,
Passover.
There's more Jews in New York than I think in Israel.
It's true.
It probably is. I mean, what's his name's the mayor, right? Bloomberg?
Yeah, Bloomberg.
You don't get a name like Bloomberg without a history.
No,
but anyway, it's all good.
It's all good.
I'm coming to New York in July.
And that's it. They call really good soup, really good bone broth, Jewish penicillin for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Jewish penicillin idea just goes back to this idea when they simmered. There's another thing. The energetic compound, as well as no one ever really you can't hand someone a cup of powder and water and say, here you go, I'm trying to help you make you better. But when you get a nice warm cup of this bone broth,
I already drank mine.
A caregiver gives you the bone broth, and when they give you the bone, you feel the love. You're like, oh my gosh. And so that is a great reason right there. Just to cook your own food, even make your own chicken broth from time to time.
Well, that's what I say. I wrote a blog years ago about what I love most about cooking my own chicken soup, my own homemade bone broth, and it was because it's an act of nourishing and loving myself. Like that, first and foremost, is one of my favorite things. And you guys know my number one mission is to get you to take care of you to nourish you. These are easy ways to continue to do that and make life easier, because life is challenging and complicated and always busy. But
I love this comment right here. Thank you. Essentially, we're glad to be here too, and we're glad we helped make your day better.
Happy.
You made our day better, and the world goes around.
Beth wrote, "This is exactly the uplifting chat I needed today. Thank you for being so joyful and fun.
All right.
We
awesome.
love you.
We love you too. That's great.
Okay, so guys, a couple things. My Reboot and Rewire program, which is a 30-day mind-body reset, it kicks off May 1st. If you want to completely upgrade your health on every level, mental, physical, nutritional, spiritual, join the program. Head over to aimeeraupp.com/reboot to learn more about it. Cart closes tomorrow night, so you only have until Saturday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time to join. It's $111. It's half off if you've done it before. And you get so much. You're basically menus, meal plans, shopping list for 30 days. You get daily emails from me, incredible support from our Facebook community. You get 5 live group coaching calls with me. and awesomeness. And then you can get bone broth from aimeeraupp.com/bone broth. Use promo code REBOOT20. Little man is back, and get 20% off basically all the broth you're going to need for the 30 days. Chef Lance and I teamed up to get you exactly what you need.
Special package on the website
at
bonebroth.com.
It's amazing. It's called, you'll see it there. Oh my goodness, who got a Batman? That is really cool. Yeah. Is that your Batman sweatshirt too?
Woohoo!
Dude, you're really into Batman today.
Yeah, well.
And then if you want to learn more about Chef Lance and his awesome broth, aimeeraupp.com/bonebroth or just bonebroth.com. And that's
awesome.
It. Yeah,
that's
thank you so much for
Have
being
a great
here.
Day, guys.
Okay, guys, we
Sending
love
out
you.
Your love. Lots of love here from La Jolla, California.
Yes, La Jolla. Oh, and we're at Juice Crafters. We should give a shout out to Juice Crafters.
Oh, yeah, Juice Crafters for sure. Here on Silverado Street.
On Silverado, Juice Crafters. They make these awesome, I was here for these guys, these protein balls that I love. And I also did have a green juice this morning because I didn't have many vegetables yesterday.
Nice.
You want a protein ball? You sure can. That's why I get them, because they're literally almonds, raspberry, dates, coconut, chia, coconut oil.
Nice.
And he thinks they have sprinkles on them.
All right,
I'm tricking him. Okay, bye guys.
Take care.